Mike O'Mara Radio Entertainment.
Today's episode of The Mike O'Mara Show is brought to you by our bonus packages. Please go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and click on the bonus banner. You'll get access to all of our bonus content, and even better, you'll be helping out TMOS. So please quit sucking, and we thank you.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store, and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Mouseketeer roll call. Rob Spiewak present.
Oscar Santana present.
Wow. How about let's go? Yeah, present. Go by height. Pony present. Good. And
Maddie present.
Nice. Very good.
Woo! Woo! Why was there this awkward pause when, like, Maddie or Pony were about to talk?
Well, I think the answer's in the question.
Well, yeah, ladies first.
Oh, well, I didn't get the memo.
Maddie's had a bad morning.
Oh, she is.
I yelled at her.
For those of you, oh, by the way, Mike is spent some time with his family. He's
back,
in Maine.
Back on Monday, and
the
it'll be fine.
Coburn's are in town. His
yes.
Beautiful daughter, Catherine's in town. And Mike, vaya con Dios, enjoy your time with the fam. Rob and I will take care of the rest of the week for you.
Indeed.
I will say that I, on the show, I'm known for the RBF, right?
The resting bitch face,
yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So my thinking face looks like I'm angry. It's been plaguing me my entire life. Before I even got into broadcasting. Girlfriends, parents, family, they always thought I was mad at something, and I was just like, I'm just thinking about something else other than you. Sorry.
Yeah, you're on to your next adventure in your mind.
Yeah, my mind's moving all the time.
A transient whir.
Today I've got a war of wars on who's unhappier on camera. Myself with my RBF when I'm actually smiling inside, or Maddie Masiello.
Well, I signed on, as I always do, at about quarter till, and I usually get a picture of a crumbling brick wall.
Yes.
But this morning I got Maddie, and she looked dissatisfied before anything. And I said, "Hi, Maddie." Hey.
Yeah.
And she knows she trails off. I don't know. She's not unhappy with her work, I don't think. She seems to enjoy it.
It's hard. Look, it is hard to get up and realize that you've got thousands of people that watch these shows.
Yes.
In the middle of a pandemic. And then, and in fairness, you're the cheeriest of the five of us, Rob. So when you're like, "Hey guys," and you're like, "Oh God, too early for this." That's what Maddie's probably saying.
Probably.
And Maddie's going through a traumatic, I would say, she's reuniting with Tiramisu, her cat. And as you know,
and she said last night was worse than the night before.
When the cat's away, when the owners are away, the cats will play. And when they come back, they even play even more because they're like, "You're back, you're back, you're back, you're back, you're back." That's why I don't have a cat. I had one for 9 days. Gone.
And you know, they're saying it again that when the pandemic is over, pets are going to go into deep depression because they're going to have less time. There was a guy on one of the TV shows this morning that says, "Start training your dog now. Put them in a room by themselves for an hour a day."
Can you throw like the sad egg pill, the Zoloft, into some sort of treat and then like get them ready?
I'm sure you could. Yeah, they have those hollow things. They almost look like combos without the filling.
I don't recommend that. Recommend that. I'm just saying that I'm not a vet. I'm not a doctor. Do not do that. I'm not liable. But if
you're saying not to medicate on your own. Of course not. I thought you didn't like the pill pockets.
No. I like to put in. I would say put in a conch and then let them lick it out.
Well, it's hard to trace that though.
That's tough. You're right.
Oh, yeah. So the pill pocket is the way to go.
Maddie, what's your story before we get to
how's tiramisu?
Matt Bloom's open mic night.
He was crazy last night. And then also because John left for LA this morning, so I had to get up early, drive him to the airport.
Oh, my God. They picked up his option?
Yeah, he split for the coast?
Yes. Stardom awaits in LA.
Wow.
Yeah. So just still tired, but I will do my best to be chipper this lovely morning.
Okay, so
3 days we need. We need 3 days of chipper.
These 3 lovely mornings.
Quick sidebar before we get to Ponyboy's one-man show. Let's rewind. Okay, so is this the first time John gets to leave Split for the Coast?
Yeah, this is the first time I think he's left since Christmas break.
Because I tend to forget he's a Los Angeles boy, isn't he?
Yeah, That's where he and with the pandemic too, it's like you're not going to go anywhere. So he hasn't seen his family in 6 months or something. He
said, "Enough is enough. I'm going to fly into the eye of the storm."
Yeah, pretty much. He wore he got these like goggles that kind of blocked out the sides of them too.
Yeah, like aviator goggles.
Yeah, aviator goggles.
I love it.
With like a bunch of 3 masks on. It was hilarious to look at. So he
got a really cheap airfare. Now there are 2 stops. He flies to Miami, and there's and then it's to Arizona, and then it's right to Los Angeles. Shouldn't be a problem.
He sheds a mask.
Exactly. It's like a truck stop. He has to shower and then back on the plane.
Okay, so are you happy about this? I'm not the travel. Look, if Paulie can make it to some island in the Caribbean, then I think John can make it to.
I think the virus fears Paulie. I think that's the problem there.
So, barring the health issues, which is hard to create a sidebar for.
It is.
How about for your personal mental health and well-being? Look, if Shannon all of a sudden said, I got to go to Arizona to see my parents, I would be sad that she's leaving and concerned for her health. But emotionally, I'd be like, finally, some alone time.
Yeah, I can't tell you the last time I was alone. Because when I'm not here, I'm at home with John. Yeah. And then when I'm not there, I'm in Buffalo with family. Mm-hmm. So it will be nice. I think for a few days at least. And then I might get bored.
Yeah. I mean, at least 4 days. You just want 4 days of like,
that's fine.
I miss you. You're right. I do love you,
Yeah.
Effective today, both kids are at work. Robert has work today, I believe, at 4 at Firework Pizza. Boom. I don't have Mike's sound effect. And Julia has started back at her job. And a week from Friday, the Supper Club is getting together at the Chubbuck's cabin in North Carolina.
Oh, Chubbuck's!
And Carrie said, hey, do you want to go down for the week? I said, Carrie, have fun.
Oh, come on. What do you want when you go down there?
No. I mean, it's easy. It would mean missing some work. And
That's
I'd rather
fine with
us.
No,
it's easier for me to do the job.
Are you sure?
It's just easier. Yeah. And besides, as you said, little alone time, not so bad.
That's true. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but I don't know. Isn't it weird when your wife doesn't go on like a couples trip? I mean, when one of the pair, they don't go on a couples trip?
I mean, we're barely a couple, so it doesn't really count.
I remember 2005.
Yes, 15 years ago.
15 years ago. Jesus, I'm old.
I know.
I went to Cancun with 3 couples and me.
Okay.
And at that point, you're like, this is going to be amazing. Those losers. Like, I'm going to Cancun. This is going to be great. We're going to be on a catamaran. There's going to be like single girls everywhere.
Drinking out of a pineapple. Crazy.
It is the most awkward feeling, even when you're 25 in Cancun.
Well, it's
like, you've got no support for what the shenanigans you want to get into. Everybody's going back to the hotel early.
It's not except it's because you're 25. The fact is that we're all 50. Mm-hmm. We've done many supper clubs with 1 or 2, one person missing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so it's no big deal. We're all good friends, and it's alone time. It'll be fine. Trust me, it'll be A-okay.
I couldn't see I like to be alone. Yeah. Shannon knows this. She knows I have a problem with that. But I couldn't go on a couple's weekend excursion with just myself.
You see, I don't see it. It's really not a couple. I don't think
they know we're having problems.
I don't.
Or do they think we're having problems?
They don't think that. It's not a couple's thing as much as it is a friend's thing.
Right, so you're gonna be fine.
It's fine. Okay. Absolutely fine. Now the thing you talk about a weekend excursion, we didn't really get a chance to talk to Maddie, who is back from Buffalo. And, your family is doing good.
Yeah, they're all good. They're driving themselves crazy, I think, just in quarantine, but they're healthy.
Because they did not take it seriously up front.
They did not, no. And they did have some family members trickle through. We went out to dinner a few times.
Had the kid with the glass in his stomach, did he come by?
No, he did not make a showing. We have to keep him safe. Clearly, he's accident prone. So the COVID can't get to Joey.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, we have a new annual Christmas tradition of a story that Maddie tells, but we won't get into that now. However, Oscar, I don't know if you were in on this. Maddie did find a new favorite radio show when she was in Buffalo.
Oh, really?
And I think it's worth it based on just the name of the male host. His name, Maddie?
Nicholas Pickles.
You know what? You want to make a mark? Come out with that radio name.
Yeah. But they've been around for decades, actually.
Well, I did a little research. It's the Nicholas and Janet, or Nick and Janet.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
And don't you have a tie to Janet?
Yeah, so Janet and good old Tony Masiello once competed on Dancing with the Buffalo Stars together.
Oh, really?
Yes. Wow, it was quite the time.
Wow. Was Mrs. Masiello upset about all this?
No, it was absolutely hysterical to watch. So there were no bad feelings.
Your dad is not a great dancer?
No, he's actually a pretty good dancer.
Of course he is. He's good at everything.
He's an athlete.
But they each had to do 2 dances, and I know one of them was the foxtrot. So he had to like trot around this whole stage and everything.
Easy.
It was hilarious. He like wore a pink cummerbund. I remember the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does it exist on video? Could we find it on like the YouTube?
That's good video.
I'm not sure. I would have to look, but I know. So there were 4 contestants, and he placed 3rd. So
other
not
Buffalo
last.
luminaries, was OJ one of them?
Was Janet the weak link?
No, Janet came in 2nd, and then there was another radio guy, not Nicholas Pickles, but a different one. And then
It wasn't Harv Moore, the boy next door, was it?
and then I forgot who came in first. I think she was like a news anchor or something.
Nah.
Yeah, but it stands to figure that he would be, of course, the mayor of a major metropolitan city. He turned down the NBA. He competes in television contests and does well. He does everything well. He's Tony Masiello.
Yes.
Hard to be his offspring, let me tell you.
Oh my God, that's tough.
He should do a feature on the Pickles program.
I'm sure he has.
So, Maddie, I see you're doing all right in this pandemic with that fledgling podcast.
I'm just, the mayor's office called. They wanted me to do a radio show, 85 affiliates and all that.
Yeah.
I turned it down.
You know,
I turned it down.
Nicholas Pickles is looking for a new cast member.
And also, Maddie, remember, when you're out there on the dance floor, it's 1, 2, step hop change, 1, 2, step hop slide.
Do you want me to go, Janet?
He said that before. I think I like met with her. I was in high school or something. And he like set up a meeting. Yeah.
Mayor Masiello, don't do this to us. Come on.
But that relationship also is what always got me like really good concert tickets growing up. So we're thankful for Janet and Nicholas Pickles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice save.
One radio piece of recommendation, the one news piece of recommendation that he gave Maddie, change your name to Madeline Badeline.
Okay.
Nicholas Pickles. If you go to his website, he's an actor. So look at it, he's a real guy. Now, moving on. I have been really quarantined. I've gone out for the occasional bottle of vodka or the grocery store. But other than that, if you look at my phone app, Dad has been home since Wednesday.
Yes.
That's what he usually says. I got a visitor yesterday, which is
a visitor.
exciting.
Who visited you?
Ooh.
I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
He's on the screen right now.
Oh, damn. Ponyboy breaking out of his shell.
A little bit.
That's
it was,
right.
We gave him a little grief yesterday about the way.
Yeah. I like that the fidelity of his mic matches the fidelity of his work product. And when I said to Mike, I was like, before the show, and this is a little behind the curtains for you at home.
Right.
I was like, can we please fix his mic? Let's do something. He goes, no, I like it that it's like that. It's different.
Yeah, well, it lets you know that he's certainly not in studio.
Yes.
And to me, it was reminiscent of when David Letterman used to talk to his director, and his director had that sort of tinny IFB sound.
Correct.
But we wanted to at least make an effort. So Pony sent me, he says, do you have a mic or something?
Oh,
and
that's
I said,
sweet.
Yeah, I do. And then I said, what do you need to get? You're going to need some sort of interface to get into the board. He says, well, I've got an XLR in, but I said, you know what? I've got my old little Mackie board that I had before I upgraded. So I stacked everything up in my garage and waited. And I waited. And I get a text, and he says, I'm a mile away. And I saw this right before the phone rang, and he says, I'm standing outside your house.
Ooh.
So, which is sort of bad news, Mr. Spiewak. The calls are coming from inside the house.
Do you let him breach the perimeter, or do you just hand something off?
I opened the garage, and I stood, I think, 7.5 feet from him.
Ooh.
And I said, there's the stuff. And you know what? I applaud him. He's wearing a mask.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people do.
But I know it was just, you know what? I thought it was nice. And I said, there's the microphone.
Yeah.
There's the board. There's cords. And he says, is there an XLR cord? I said, yes. Goodbye. And sent him on his way. But it's, you know what? It was weird for someone that for the past 6-7 years I spent as much time with as I have with most of my family.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him since, St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah,
it was good to see him. I think you've lost weight.
Yeah, he's lost weight, right? He's got a little son. Hey, can you take that mic off of the stand? I just want to. I want more of like the
like a showbiz.
Yeah, like you're the stand-up comedian. Like you've got a special.
Okay.
All right.
This. Here
Now,
we go.
yeah. Now move the mic off of move the mic stand out of camera, just so
we
yeah.
go.
Okay, there you go. And now
Now talk about airline food.
yeah. Let me tell you about Rob Spiewak's house.
Who are these people?
Now, we didn't want Pony to sound too good, so I gave him a Radio Shack brand microphone.
Good, as you should.
But I think it's better than what we had, and it's directional. So, where's your flying thing? Your mouse?
Oh, she's in the other room, and she sleeps in the closet.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
I
dark.
see. But you couldn't get her up for I woke my son up yesterday.
Can you wake up Miracle?
No, she doesn't. She doesn't wake up at this time. This is the time like when she's going to bed. So,
Wait, she's getting ready. She's winding down. Oh, by the way, for those of you at home, it's a sugar. He has a sugar glider.
It's not his
right? Daughter or
no.
a niece or anybody else. No. It's a marsupial. Do you have to like soothe? Like, is there like a routine? Because I know when my nephew gets put to bed, like he has like he needs to read a book. There's a shower beforehand. Like, do you go through this process at 4 or 5 in the morning to get her ready for bed?
No, I mean, well, I do read her stories, but I mean that I don't have to.
What do you mean you read her stories?
I'm kidding.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
Oh,
could be a sugar glider story.
She just goes right to bed.
Yeah, but do you tell her, hey, get back in, put the mouse back in the house? Do you tell her get back in there?
No.
Put the mouse back in the house. This is sugar glider code.
No.
Yeah, but you tell me that sometimes she'll hang on the TV and just like bebop around the house, right?
Yeah, so that's at like 7 or 8 o'clock. Like in the evening, she'll run around and just jump around on furniture and stuff. And
so she doesn't mind driving at night.
No, she's nocturnal. So she'll get up at around like 7 or 8 o'clock and then run around and jump on stuff. And then
do you ever talk to her like she's I would say a human, and you're like, "Good morning, sunshine."
Yeah,
it's
no,
7 o'clock.
Not to make you feel silly or anything. I know I talk to Linus all the time.
I talk to Santos all the time. Like,
I mean, I don't even use like a character voice. It's like, "Hey, buddy, I'm going to go downstairs. You want to come downstairs because we got to do the show." And do you talk to Tiramisu like a person?
All the time. But I talk to him like a baby in a total like pet baby voice. It's bad.
You see, he'll never mature then.
Yeah, true. Maybe that's the problem.
Pony, how do you talk to Miracle?
Yeah. I talk to her like an adult.
Yeah.
And I have like real conversations, and then I look at her and I'm like, all right, fine. Don't respond. Just glide around, jump on the TV, eat a seed or something. Fine. I'm trying to talk to you about my day, and you're just eating watermelon pieces. Okay.
Is that what she eats? Watermelon?
She'll eat any kind of fruit. Does
she ever leave like a half uneaten fruit piece around? And you're like, well, that's wasteful.
Yeah.
No, not really. I mean, she'll devour pretty much anything I put in there in the case.
Let's say it's 7:30 and you're watching Jeopardy, and you're alone by the light of a naked light bulb, and you're eating, say, a tangerine. Will she come over like in the equivalent of like a dog? Will she beg for food?
If she's out of the cage and I'm eating a tangerine, like she'll just run up my arm and just try and take pieces of tangerine. She won't even ask.
I didn't think she'd
This smells
ask.
good. I'm taking it.
And do you just let her dominate you?
Well, I mean, I'll hand her a piece. I'm not crazy enough to eat a tangerine and like make her suffer or something.
That's some crazy behavior when one eats a tangerine.
Some psychotic, sadist.
And ladies, Pony is single.
That's right.
Do you think Miracle, once you find the Mrs. Bloom of the future, because they live forever, right?
Not forever.
I mean, what's the
like 5-10 years?
Okay, how Miracle's what at 10 years?
No. More like probably 6, I think.
Okay, 6.
Because remember, there was the whole thing about getting her into the airport, and then there was the mysterious Unsolved Mysteries episode.
That's right. Okay, so you got 6. Within the 4 years, let's say that you meet the lucky lady in your life that gets to spend the rest of her time with you. Is Miracle going to be jealous?
Oh,
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think.
Do they have that chip? Fine. Do they have a jealousy chip? I know they're affectionate. Really?
They are. They show affection by basically coming to you for warmth. I mean, it's really not it's not like a dog or something that's going to come up and like lick
Aren't
your
you
face
borderline anemic? How much warmth is coming off of you?
No, I'm not at all.
As a matter of fact, right now he's running a fever.
Yeah.
Sad. So Pony,
You look like you're sweating.
Yeah, you do. He has no sense of taste. This tangerine is bland.
There you go, Miracle. I
don't
no
want
use
it.
for this.
I have no use
on
at
this
all.
guy.
So when you got home and you set up the equipment, it was an easy setup. Obviously,
Oh, very,
you're using the
very
board.
easy.
Have you figured out how to use the reverb yet?
No, no. I see. There's all these little EQ switches and stuff. I didn't want to mess with them.
Yeah, well, there's an effects bus, and if you want later on, perhaps we could teach you how to use the reverb, and you could really we could see like inside Pony's brain. You could do your subconscious.
Also,
voice.
for our wonderful listeners, could you just take a quick selfie or a candid, something you would put on Instagram if you're on Instagram,
right?
Of you and Miracle, just so we have a good reference. I don't even
tonight.
remember. I don't remember her face. Like I want to remember her. Like we remember Robert and Julia. We get a good reference point for kids. The little Michael. But if this is a little special lady in your life, I feel like we should know more about her.
Okay.
Well,
so tonight, when she wakes up,
does she not like pictures?
No.
She a vampire? What's the story?
No. I think that I think you guys make an awful lot out of this creature, and I don't know. I just
we want to just see a photograph.
Are we crossing a line that shouldn't be crossed?
No. I'm just. I mean, it's not nearly as exciting as you seem to think it is.
You just said that this wonderful maid
nocturnal,
of yours,
beautiful thing. Yeah,
she crawls around. She does what she wants. She's keeping you company. If she's special to you, she's special to us, man.
Part of your life is part of our life.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that.
And we can't get her on Dancing with the Baltimore Stars. Buffalo Stars, rather, if we don't have a photograph.
But if you don't want to exploit your little lady, we understand that as well.
I appreciate that.
And we're not asking you to wake her up like we did to Robert yesterday, who, by the way, is still not pleased. But I said, you did really good, son. He said, I don't know. I said, yeah, pretty high review. That's about what I got from him last night. But he's excited. He's going back to work today. And thank you for all the love. And the fact that Barb and Chuck Moody are big fans of Firework Pizza, I found out.
They are?
Yes.
People are coming out of the woodwork.
They really are. They are.
The idea that they should buy a schedule.
They really should.
And if you're not getting enough free za from your son, we don't talk about them ever again.
You know what? It's moot. We're done with it. Done.
Now, Maddie, before we start the show and take a quick break here.
Yes.
When Pony was talking about Miracle, his sugar glider, from a scale, let's just go 10 being the best, 1 being the worst.
Okay.
How much sex appeal was he oozing?
You said 0 was the worst or 1?
Yes.
0 would be the worst.
I'm going to go -3.
You can't go into there.
Oh, wow, off the scale.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, here's Rob.
It's 9:43 on the East Coast.
Thank you.
Live from the Podcast Village studios in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and from Leesburg, Virginia. It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara Show, or TMOS to our friends, is a worldwide podcast and radio show with a family of listeners who are unrivaled in their love and support for our program. If you are a first-timer, sit back, relax, and prepare to be entertained. And for our longtime friends, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for spreading the word every day about the Mike O'Mara Show. From Sedgwick, Kansas to Arapahoe, Colorado, from St. Charles County, Missouri to Nightville in South Portland, Maine, from Yardley, Pennsylvania to Pozzuoli, Italy, TMOS is on the air and everywhere. So let's get started. Thanks to our friends at Cornerstone. Woo! Oscar, let's talk about your mortgage rate. If you currently have 3.25% or higher, you need to call.
Me.
That's you.
That's me.
That's you. That's you. You got to call our friend Mark Livingstone at Cornerstone First Financial, and you need to do it today because right now, 90% of homeowners have rates higher than the average going interest rate. You're wasting money. Cornerstone First financial rates are so low, they've actually become a disruptor in the industry. Love the word, a disruptor. They're shaking it up. Because of their rates, service, and programs, they are unparalleled. Their low-rate guarantee and the fact that they're both a lender and a broker allows them to have the flexibility to approve loans that the big banks just can't do. Interest rates on the 30-year fix have fallen into the 2s for the first time ever. This is historic stuff. So you need to call Mark Livingstone at Cornerstone First Financial right now. 202-625-1221. That's 202-625-1221 or online at cornerstonefirst.com. Think of this. You do this now, you'll probably never have to refinance again. You'd just be done for the rest of the loan. It's great. So whether it's a purchase or a refi, call 202-625-1221 or cornerstonefirst.com. Cornerstone First Financial, personal attention from application to closing. And just like TMOS, Cornerstone First never took a pause during the pandemic. They kept everything going, and they're working for you, which is awesome. Oscar, I know that people are going through stuff with the pandemic. And
yes.
In some ways, even though I have been socially distant from my folks, I speak to my parents probably more now than I did before. And you've been in touch with your mom quite a bit. You've actually visited her, right?
So every Sunday is Mama Santana Sunday.
Okay.
As we go over and we socially distance within their home that has more square footage in their family room than my entire home.
Exactly.
God bless them. They made the right decisions in life. I'll say this, that my mom, and for those of you that get to see your parents in one way or another or even connect with them, there's a lot of tying up of loose ends. And because of this pandemic, if they're older, if something happens,
that they are forced to face the fact that they're closer to the end than the beginning.
That would be. I'm sorry. That would be the case. I see where you're going. That would be the case if my parents weren't obsessed with death from a young age.
Okay.
And maybe it's the immigrant in them, and people pass, like to use a junkie's term, they just donk off family members on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Like
your uncle's felt it, and he's gone.
Yeah, he's down to the felt. So I remember the first time my dad and mom put a will together when I was in, I would say, when I was 13 years old, showed me where the wills are. And they showed me because my sister and brother were living their American lives, and I was trapped at home because I couldn't drive. And so they're out and
Where
about.
did they keep the wills?
Well, my mom, they're at the bank in a safety deposit box.
Okay. But ours is in a safe. So yeah,
my dad taking me to the bank and showing me where everything is, and my mom there, and she goes, "This is where things are." And my dad always did this, he would do this bit. I'm sure this is where I get it from. He goes, things could change on this document.
Yeah. Were you still with? I mean, that's the ultimate Santa Claus threat right there. That's worse than coal in a stocking.
If you don't become a doctor.
And are you still with First Bolivia Bank? Is that who you're with?
No, it's Bank of La Paz, the Bank of Peace. And so we and throughout, so there's been a lot of reiterating. My mom would be sitting there watching. I think we were watching Unsolved Mysteries until she got scared, and we had to stop watching that. And then she says,
ay, ay, ay.
¿Por qué todos están muriendo? And then she goes, this is what's great. El Omni, which is for aliens. Yes. She goes, El Omni, no me gusta el Omni. She doesn't like aliens, so then we had to change the channel.
That's funny. So odd that she would fear aliens.
Yes. But she says, ¿sabes qué? You know what? And I'm like, what, Mom? And she said, yo quiero cuando muero de que me pongan en el Río Mamoré. She wants to be thrown her ashes in el Río Mamoré in Bolivia. And I was like, Mom, don't talk about death right now. This is really a bummer. I get it. There's a lot going on.
The worst.
And I said, what about those burial plots, Mom, that you made me sign off on at 11? At age 11, before you even talked about a will, some flim-flam man from the St. Catharines in Montgomery County rolled over and sold my mom 4 burial plots.
Now, do you remember this? Because this is a long time for you, 25 years ago, right?
It's seared into my mind of things I shouldn't have to have dealt with, whether it's the Metro Rail at a young age, signing off and sitting in a meeting about burial plots because you don't want your parents to die. I was crying the entire time.
I bet.
It was just terrible. But now, this is where we come full circle.
Okay.
Because I can finally bring some value to this and maybe get some show mileage out of it.
All right.
My mom comes down with what is the carbon copy piece of paper that every document and every contract had when we were younger.
Okay.
And it shows that my mom, in her infinite wisdom, when she was young and an immigrant and being taken advantage of, bought 4 burial plots in Laurel, Maryland for the Ceballos family, all together.
Can you imagine spending all of eternity in Laurel?
Maryland National Cemetery is where she bought the plots. We have no ties to PG County, no ties to Laurel, nothing. And when she says to me that she wants her ashes spread in Rio Mamoré, I said, what about those plots we signed off? I'm sure you spent thousands on that. She goes, oh, I found the paperwork. She found the paperwork, comes down.
Right.
And she goes, I first asked her why there were 4 and not 5 because there's 5 people in our family.
Well, she's playing the odds. Not everyone's going to be a doctor,
Was
Oscar.
this the decade you were planning on divorcing Dad? Because, hey, the math speaks for itself.
Right.
She could have bought 5. She bought 4.
Yeah.
And she said, well, I knew I always wanted to get, she always wanted to get cremated. So, she made the call back then. Whatever. Okay. I think she's covering up for her indiscretions.
Yeah, sure.
And
she was mad at Jose that day.
I said, he'll rot in hell in La Paz. We'll be in Laurel, Maryland. We'll show him.
That's right. We will be resting peacefully in eternity with the sound of trotting racehorses nearby.
These plots, by the way, are beautiful.
Well,
They're
I'm
beautiful.
sure.
Right next to a little pond.
You got the water view.
We
Nice.
got the water view. It's great.
Yeah.
And we're stacked like Tetris. She had to get that deal. She couldn't afford the 3, the 4 were stacked. Stacked.
Oh, okay.
Two
So
bodies
yeah,
stacked on top of each other.
Well, that's actually how they do it at the national cemeteries
They do?
now. Yeah,
I didn't know
that. My grandfather, Big Daddy, and his wife, they are in the same plot, stacked with 2, I guess, the 2 vaults, and then the front and back of the stone have their information.
Also short-sighted for my mom because what about us having families?
Well, again, she didn't have a lot of high hopes for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we got 4, and I said, Mom, what are we gonna do with these? I don't know how you sell burial plots if this is what you want me to do. It looks like this is what you want to get rid of them somehow. Is there a fire sale? And then she goes, well, it's time. And this is where my mom has this. There's a genius side of her in all of the Larry King fish oil purchases that she's made in the past.
The thing is that she has such a different upbringing. Yeah. That she thinks differently.
When she buys multiple printers.
She has a lot of printers.
She's like a child of the depression, but there's no depression. So
I wouldn't say that.
She hoards these plots.
Right.
We do a quick Google search. They're worth roughly $12,000.
Okay.
Open market. Now.
Where did you find this? Like on Facebook Marketplace?
No, because shocker, people make these decisions and then leave all the time where they're living currently. So there are other blocks of plots on eBay. Right, I
thought you were going to say people buy them and then they decide not to die.
For those cemeteries. They moved to, there's somebody in Indiana selling their laurel plots.
Okay.
There's somebody right now in California selling their laurel plots.
And it sounds like with the water view, you've got the Ford Bronco right now.
Yeah, it's a hot commodity. And as she said, están muriendo. She goes, people, they're dying, she said.
I love when he speaks Spanish.
She goes, they're dying. People want these. And I said...
They're literally
supply
and demand, right?
That's brilliant.
This is the genius of her. If we ran out of printers, we know where to get them. Exactly. My mom's basement.
The pandemic has really made these a red hot commodity.
So I call. She tasks us with offloading these.
Sure.
I call the place. I'm like, hey, is there a buyback program? I'm sure that you guys are getting.
You have the receipt. She brought the thing down.
We've got the plot number, the contract number. We've got everything.
Right.
And they offered us like you're trading your car into the dealer, some just disgusting price.
Of course, depreciation.
A third. I'm sure. I said land has appreciated more than this.
Of course, you could build a tiny house there, like the one you live in.
So now
you have enough land.
Now I am tasked this weekend to go and find said plot, create an iPhone marketing video for plot, then lay out what is going to be the best eBay page ever. To show people where their RIP forever can be if they have a family of 4 or they just want to be stacked and racked in Laurel, Maryland.
Hello, people of Laurel, Maryland. Have you thought about the future? Have you? How would you like to live by a pond? You could for the rest of your life.
If there are koi in this pond, the price is going up 20%.
I'll throw in a fishing pole and a bag of bait. Now, you saw the contract that she brought down?
Oh, yeah.
Did you actually sign it? Because I can only imagine what your 13-year-old signature was.
When I was 13.
I picture a backwards S.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Because I was taking calligraphy lessons then. Oh, yeah, I told you I took calligraphy? Oh, yeah. All day.
Well,
my hand would be cramped from all the calligraphy.
Yeah, I'm sure it was the calligraphy that cramped your hand.
No, at 13, I was discovering other things. But I remember these books. My mom had a tutor come over. I was calligraphy for hours during the summer.
What a great future-looking thing to know, because in this day and age, is there anything more useful than calligraphy?
That was a waste of money and time.
Yeah,
but it might have gotten me into like maybe she knew I liked art, so it was. I enjoyed figuring out a way to write your name in different. It's really narcissistic at that point where you're like,
well, I know that I have never ever forged your signature, but I'm relatively familiar with the way you write. Mm-hmm. Does the calligraphy ever come out in your modern penmanship? Like if you were to sit down and try.
When I write in calligraphy,
right?
And this has been documented. Quick sidebar. I don't know. I might be like undercover dyslexic.
Great show on Netflix, by the way. Undercover Dyslexic. He's an IP.
When I write, the direction within when I write my letters out in block letters, it goes backwards. Rob has seen this.
Yeah, it's weird.
But in calligraphy, I do it the appropriate way.
Because you had a tutor. He had a writing tutor.
A writing tutor to write in The Lost Art of Calligraphy.
So I remember, there used to be, it was a thing for a little while. Yeah. And I guess probably when I was like 8 or 9, I remember there were like calligraphy pens. And I mean, I guess technically you're supposed to use like a quill or whatever where you actually dip in the ink. But the pen had a razor thin.
That's what I used.
But it was wide. And so you could do like a straight
I started
or
out
wide.
With pencil. On the little, and then when I got, I guess to a level where this bit, and just quick again, now tutors are called coaches because tutors are
that sort of diminishes, right?
Diminishes,
yeah. Right.
So when my tutor, not coach, that really bothers me for some reason.
Yeah, we sent Robert to a math coach.
so he can be a mathlete.
Yeah, a mathlete, exactly.
So I remember him coming to the house and he presented me the calligraphy pen, like it's some sort of ceremony. And he's like,
and then said, please remove your shirt.
When you do this topless,
it really helps. But I had no idea. So what I'm looking for now is when I finally get this note from you that I'm anticipating,
yes.
I want to see a beautiful calligraphy version of the words, Rob, you're fired. You know what? For all of our sakes, Oscar, we need to avoid crowds any way we can. I mean, come on. That's what people are saying.
Agreed.
Stay out of the crowds. But what if you need postage to send out letters and packages? What can you do? Have no fear. Stamps.com is here because anything you can do at the post office, you can do at Stamps.com. Print your postage on demand and skip those crowds at the post office. No human contact required. It's that easy. Stamps.com brings all of the services of the U.S. Postal Service right to your computer so you can stay hunkered down and safe. Think about it. It's perfect. They've been doing this for years, but now more than ever, you need Stamps.com. They also offer UPS services with discount rates up to 62%. And with Stamps.com, you don't have to pay UPS residential surcharges. Plus, 5 cents off every first-class stamp. Think of that. That's crazy. Stamps.com's a no-brainer, saving you time and money and keeping you safe in these crazy times. And right now, our listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, free postage, and a digital scale without any long-term commitment. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in TMOS. Stamps.com, promo code TMOS, and stay safe, my friends. Oscar.
Yes.
It debuts today. The Peacock Network.
Peacock!
Which is the newest streaming thing. Now, it's been available to certain people. I think if you had Xfinity,
yes,
there was you got like a sneak preview.
You actually get it for free on Xfinity.
It launches, and there is like, there's just a list of some of the shows that are debuting today. NBC. Brave New World. What is it? There's one called The Capture. There is one called Intelligence that has David Schwimmer, but you can watch it anyway. Curious George cartoons, Where's Waldo cartoons, Cleopatra in Space cartoon. Hey, this one sounds good. In Deep with Ryan Lochte.
Oh, I don't mind that.
Shaw.
It's a reality show.
Yeah, but we've forgiven him about the fake gas station break-in?
This is the problem. They're manufacturing shows, and I could be wrong, and I'll eat my words if that happens. It's fine.
All right.
The Peacock Network is late to the game.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so you've got like CBS All Access, which is their premium network. You've got Disney, which really, for what it's worth, if you've got kids, I would say trumps everything because
it's the best. It's amazing.
Package.
Yes.
They've got a catalog of shows. They own the rights to Netflix is the Paramount, the go-to, Hulu, which you can bundle Disney with. NBC.
I would say that the gold standards would be for new content would be Netflix, and for catalog content would be Disney.
Okay,
those are probably the 2 gold standards.
But couldn't you get away with owning Netflix, Disney, and now Peacock, and just saying "F you" the rest of your cable bill? Like you and I can't do it because we have to do this for a living, so we have.
But
to
I would say the average person,
right?
and you know, and most of the stuff you can stream. If it's like something out of control, crazy, you pay 99 cents, you can get it. You can find it out there.
So for me, as an Xfinity customer, they've been shoving this down my throat for, I would say, roughly 2 months. I thought Peacock was out already. That's how much I've heard about Peacock.
Well, today is the big rollout, the national rollout. However, I believe it is not available on Amazon Fire or Roku. So it seems to me it's a little... If you're going to do a rollout, but don't you want to cover all your bases?
Yeah, but I mean, look, they're probably they're being firewalled, literally. Think about this, Rob. I think if you take away the idea that it's NBC and you think of it as Xfinity, then because Xfinity owns NBC,
exactly.
Then if you're Amazon, you're going to want them to pay like a ton of money to be on your platform.
Well, of course.
If you're Roku, same deal. Or if you're Xfinity or Comcast, you're going to want Amazon to pay you to have access to that because your customers are going to want it.
The weird thing is that, again, we're looking at an unprecedented situation here because just as, you know, the movies thought television would destroy them, right now streaming thinks network television thinks streaming is destroying them, and they are.
Yeah.
So NBC, I don't think there's a game plan here. I don't think there is anything they can look back and do, and they're facing another problem, which is one of their big things is that there's no new situation comedies happening right now because no one can film. So they put together a 30 Rock reunion special that airs tomorrow night, but that's going to air on regular NBC television, Channel 4 here in Washington, D.C. But it will be on, as I understand, on Channel 4 here. But stations that are not owned by NBC, that are NBC affiliates, many of them are refusing to carry it for two reasons. Because there's no advertising space in it. It's commercial free, so they can't make any local money that way. And perhaps more importantly, and this troubles me because I always had sort of a high opinion of the show 30 Rock. It's essentially an infomercial for Peacock. That's the whole plot line.
Is it a Zoom call show? Because they were cool for like literally 2 weeks, and I was like, ugh.
No, I think that they've actually done. They've shot it virtually and edited it together. But
I want to see that. I'll take.
I'd watch that too.
I'll take it.
But the thing is that if it gets down to money, and there are going to be probably mid-market NBC affiliates that don't care. But don't worry,
short-sighted,
because it's going to be rebroadcast. Because NBC wants to make sure you see it. It will be rebroadcast on USA, Bravo, E, Oxygen, Sci-Fi, and CNBC.
Nice.
CNBC is going to air it.
CNBC shuts off at night. They usually just play Shark Tank and you're good to go. So
they put on the national anthem.
This is new programming for them.
They're very excited.
Let me give you a parallel that we'll understand. And for those of you at home, there was a time when we thought for regular radio, terrestrial radio, that Sirius XM was which was a threat, and Howard Stern was leaving the format to go to Sirius XM, and we knew it was like the cable TV of radio.
Sure.
That we, at least for me, as talent and team members of CBS Radio or terrestrial radio, thought it was. We were actually shocked that they let Sirius XM buy a schedule on their network. You're promoting your competition,
right?
And the bloodsuckers at I would say terrestrial radio said, no big deal, it's fine. We got free FM. Free FM's going to work out.
And remember, that was their counterbalance, because they said, we don't have Howard Stern, but at least we're free.
Yeah, so Free FM turned out to be a big flop because two things happened. Howard left and took a huge market share of the audience to satellite radio, so it worked out for Sirius XM. But for Free FM, I'm going to blow your minds.
Awesome. Like fireworks pizza.
The word free,
yes,
for people that want to advertise, somehow diminished the individual brands because they're like, it's Free FM, it's probably cheap.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it killed not just that. So you had the audience leaving, and then the brand Free murdered the radio business because people didn't they just equated to be like, oh, it's turned into what was an anchor for your overall format as they rolled it out across the country.
Oh, and it was huge. It was everybody took the cyanide tablet.
I think that it's short-sighted for these local networks to be like, oh, we're not going to push the Peacock network because it's essentially competition and we're not making any money. Like, the writing's on the wall.
Yeah. Go ahead. If I were anybody that had an association with NBC is going to be around for a long time.
They're not going anywhere.
Yeah. You know what? I would, send them a muffin basket. Be nice to them.
Well, and also, like, I don't know what the rules of Seabridge is KCJJ, owner-operated, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. As a matter of fact, he would be the general manager, except he doesn't like talking to people.
Yeah, do what you want. That's fine. But I don't think it's... I think maybe I'm reading into the way you're sharing this news with us that I don't, and this is going to be shocking.
Right.
The O&Os they do what they want, but not everybody needs them. Like, they're not as important in the grand scheme of media as we think. KCJJ is important to us because they're our affiliate. And they have, and they're important.
And
you
should be specific. The independent O&Os, not NBC owned and operated. It's the independents.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
But. So, and maybe this is, again, nerdy. So when there's a network, not like ESPN doesn't own every station that ESPN is on.
Right. Exactly.
ESPN sometimes takes their programming and the owner of that signal purchases that programming, or they make a deal, and then that program ends up on that station, becomes an ESPN station.
Think of the word affiliate. It means they're just affiliated. They're associated with each other. Right.
I believe that. Unless you've got I don't see how you're making a stand and saying, I'm not getting any revenue, but I'll take everything else, and we're going to fight this tidal wave of what we want. It just doesn't. I don't feel like there's a winner there. I think both. I
think you're right. I think you're right. But I think also people are panicking because they just don't know. Again, there's no game plan.
Peacock,
right now,
terrible name, by the way. Terrible name.
I don't know. It certainly makes me think of the wonderful world of color television.
Oh, I think of dudes walking into a bar with a big belt buckle.
You always think of that.
Or like peacocking with like a cartoon-size collar and a shirt.
That's what you always think of.
Did somebody run a poll? Like, that's what it means in my generation.
Well, my generation, when I think Peacock, I think NBC. But that's always, that's been their symbol since they turned to color television.
Maddie, what does it mean for you?
Absolutely. A guy walks into the bar with a belt buckle.
Yeah, big pompadour.
But what if the guy is Alec Baldwin? Then it's NBC again.
He's been peacocking his whole life.
I've got some NBC show and tell when we come back.
Let's do it.
By the way, you can start Peacock free, and then just for everyone that wants to know, $4.99 a month, $9.99 if you don't want spots. So it's the same platform as a lot of the others. And also, they were going to be a big deal. They said, "Hey, and we got the Olympics." Well, they canceled the Olympics. Womp womp.
Hit
Sorry
pause on that guy.
All right, take a pause. We'll be back after this. It's the Mike O'Mara Show. All those words. I promise we'll say all those words this Friday on the bonus show. Talking about that money for the for Peacock, here's what you do. Save that money.
Save it.
Put it in your pocket and go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and click the patron banner. Put the money there. That's where the money will do some good. Simply put, we're asking for your help, folks. We need you to go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and click the Patron Society banner and make a pledge to us. $1, $5, $10 a week, any amount. It's entirely up to you. We need you, and you can make a difference. Your support is a testament to the fact that you want this show to continue. Because if you're there for us, we'll be here for you.
Yes.
If you can contribute, please do. Your support means the world to us now more than ever. And know this, we really do appreciate you. And we thank you very, very much. So please be generous as much as you can.
Look, people, let me just get real here. There are options where you can do like $1 a week.
Yep.
You can do $5 a week. You can do $15 a week. You can do name your price. You can do a single donation.
Right.
Everything counts. And I can't thank you enough for those of you that are forked over, especially in the middle of a pandemic.
Right.
The shekels you have, it really does help. It helps alleviate the stress. It helps alleviate a little anxiety. I've had conversations with Maddie separately and Pony separately, like, we're going to make it through this. As I've said before, we've made it through the Suits on Terrestrial. We made it through the Great Recession. We'll make it through this pandemic together. So if we could just move the meter a little more,
Just a little bit. Trust me, you won't feel it. You guys won't feel it, but we will feel great. So thank you very much. We do appreciate it. While we're talking about NBC, I want to do a little show and tell.
NBC.
Yeah, and it's funny you should bring that up.
WNBC.
They had their 70th anniversary in 1996. And I was doing public affairs programming for WJFK back then. So I was connected to a lot of networks and stuff. And they sent out a gift to people that were associated with NBC. So this is from 1996. This is an actual NBC chime generator xylophone.
Ooh.
And you'll recognize
I'm actually jealous about this.
You'll love this. Listen.
Oh, that's cool.
And what's really neat, good piece of trivia, is that the notes for the NBC chimes are the
you
notes
hit that again?
Yeah, like if you were to play this on a piano,
yeah.
It's G, E, C.
Can you just do it without talking?
Well, yeah, but I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah, I can hear it, but I just want to hear it. Just hit it again. Like it. Okay, thank you. Okay.
But it's GEC because of the General Electric Corporation, who originally owned NBC. Isn't that clever?
Man.
I love that. It was the first audio service mark ever recognized by the U.S. Patent Office.
Very cool.
And that's what I thought was. But so NBC has a long and storied history. But I'm still troubled that you're not into the Peacock thing. Well, you really don't think when you think of NBC, they call it the
I don't have the nostalgia,
like CBS.
Yeah, I don't have the nostalgia for networks like you do.
CBS was called the Tiffany Network.
I get it. Look, I love that you have this history and this love
ABC
for it.
was called garbage. It was always
the closest I ever felt like, oh man, those days of old broadcasting were when I was in college and they taught you about Marconi and the networks and how they're all set up. And then when I watched Radio Days. Everything else, I don't care. And it's probably because I'm selfish and I'm short-sighted, but I grew up in the world of like the cable TV. My parents forever we had the networks and every friend. I raced to Winnie Max and my Haitian friends' house because they had cable. Right? We didn't have cable.
I guess I'm on the tail end of it. But I mean, do you not even realize like when they run the title card and they show a peacock on NBC television? Like you still watch Saturday Night Live, right?
Yeah, but
or do you just watch it on
I
TV?
Don't care. You know what's cool to me? The 20th Century Fox
the
fanfare when it comes up, and you have in Cannonball Run the car drive up the actual,
and it ends with Burt Reynolds laughing.
Yes, that is cool. But there's no like this. Maybe I believe that television networks as a whole,
right?
They diversified for a reason, and within 20 years there will be your standard. But their business models will be completely different.
Well,
if somebody's coming out with a streaming service now, I think they're late. I think Peacock is late to the game. I think that they should have done this a long time ago. I think that they don't have enough. And I know they have the portfolio of Friends, and you've got The Office, and you've got everything coming. I don't know if that's enough for me to purchase it, especially when they're giving it to me for free because I have Xfinity and I'm paying a fortune for that.
And also, I mean, you look at something like, I think The Office, they really, really are highlighting the fact they have, but it's so diluted to me. I'll come up and Julia will be like doing
it's on TBS.
Work on her computer and she'll leave it on television background like I used to have radio on.
Yeah.
It's like they're not watching it. It's just white noise to them. So I think they've almost saturated it. So we shall see. You know, it's funny. You were thinking about cable. My first experience with cable was we were living in Vienna. So I was probably like in 3rd or 4th grade. They brought HBO in. Just HBO, not cable television. So when we paid for it, we had the special converter cable that went into our television, and HBO was on channel 3.
Yeah.
So you got 4, 5, 7, and 9.
I remember
and it was every month we got mailed a little pamphlet of all the stuff that was on HBO. I think I watched the movie Jaws 17 times.
Maddie, did you have cable your entire life?
Yeah, until now, where I don't have it.
Well, but you're online, right?
Yeah. Now I just do streaming services.
Yeah, so you're good. Pony, did you have cable your entire life?
Yeah. And do you remember back when you had cable, and if you lost power, you had to call the cable company to have them turn your TV back on?
Yeah.
That was the worst.
Yeah, exactly. Awful. Actually, Pony, that wasn't true. That was just something your mom said.
Did you all
She said that to me.
for Maddie and Pony, did your parents pay for the Disney? We never had the Disney Channel. Anybody that had it I was like, they're so lucky.
We got it. We had it. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I loved it for the cartoons were amazing. Even though I was probably in middle school by then, I was still loving the cartoons.
My skinflint father said to me one time, "Why do you need the Disney Channel? You've got the Disney Afternoon."
It's just as good.
It's just as good.
I said, Dad, that's like a 2-hour block. If I'm lucky, usually an hour. That's all I got.
Change your schedule to suit
He
the
literally was
programming.
like, he literally said, "Why do you need that? You've got the Disney Afternoon."
It's like, you don't need that. We have Barney Miller.
I don't even know how much more it was. He made it seem like it was $100 more.
Sure, it would have broken the bank, Oscar, for you to be able to watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. All right. Oh, let us pause for station identification.
NBC Television.
And speaking of your father, when we return, news from Bolivia.
Okay.
I know he's spending some time there, right? Or is he?
Yeah, I checked in on. My dad's taking a lot of naps these days. I'm just saying. Checked in on Sunday. He's like, I was taking a nap. I was like, it's 6 p.m.
I was napping, and I had to turn off my WhatsApp, so I couldn't take. What's nap?
You nap with your other family?
We're back after this. It's the Mike O'Mara Show. So Mike is here via audio tape, which is nice. Oscar,
yes.
How clean is your smartphone?
Oh, well, I would say before I walked in, I cleaned my phone.
See, and that's what you got to do, because I hate to tell you this, but your phone is likely 10 times dirtier than a toilet seat. Now more than ever, it's important to keep items like your phone clean, because if your phone isn't clean, your hands will be clean. Oscar is sparkling right now.
Yes, a Bristol.
Because he uses Homedics UV Clean Phone Sanitizer. It's this beautiful portable pouch that cleans your phone instantly with UV light, and it kills 99.9% of bacteria and viruses at the DNA level using no harmful chemicals or liquids. And here's the best thing, it's fast. It works in less than a minute.
We got one from Maddie. Maddie, how are you enjoying yours?
I love it, and it is so fast. Like, I forget that it's so fast, and then I'm like, wait, it's done? It's great.
It's 10 times faster than most of the other procedures. And again, no fluids to deal with, nothing to do. You just put it in and you let it go. It's not just for your phone. You can use your glasses, lipstick, pacifier, keys, credit card, pens. I put my NBC xylophone in there. It's sparkling clean, and I don't have to worry when we do station identification.
Nice.
You can use it wherever you go. Everyone at TMOS loves it, and you're going to love yours. You can choose your colors. And here's the funny thing. Oscar researched and bought this product before they sponsored.
Prior to them calling.
It's the best because, as you know, his soul full of gadgets.
Yeah, full of gadgets.
Even with overwhelming demand for UV Clean, Mike O'Mara Show customers can get free shipping plus $20 off a future Homedics purchase. Just head to uv.com and use... .com is what I meant to say.
Pro tip.
Yes.
Do this. Buy one, get the $20 credit, and then buy another.
And then... you're in like Flynn.
Yes.
Go to uvclean.com and use promo code TMOS. That's GETUVCLEAN.com and use promo code TMOS. Get uvclean.com. Don't forget, every time you wash your hands, you need to clean your phone too. Get uvclean.com. So anytime I see the word Bolivia in my newsfeed, I always click on the story. And this is exciting. This is from the Reuters news service. The last line of the story is perhaps the most important.
Okay.
Is that the World Health Organization has said that based on current evidence, the coronavirus cannot be sexually transmitted. So that's good news, right? But the headline is what I liked. It said, Bolivian sex workers bet on see-through biosecurity raincoats to reduce contagion risk.
This is a spicy meatball because I've got ties to that said nation.
Yes, you do.
Look, it's winter down there.
Do you have any transparent raincoats?
Let me just add that.
Okay.
So it's winter, at least in La Paz. There's still some, just like you have Miami here, or you have San Diego. There are places within our nation that have, I would say, a better climate than La Paz. The see-through bit, I don't know if I'm against it or for it, because I've seen stories online and on television where you have family members covered like hugging each other with plastic bags.
Yeah, I've seen what I think a real common picture is almost like a clothesline.
Yeah.
With a big piece of plastic sheeting and armholes, so you can hug grandma or whatever. Right.
I saw, which I thought was pretty ingenious, a barber cutting hair in like what looked like a. Do you remember those costumes, I would say 10 years ago, where you could be a shower curtain and the shower curtain would...
Oh, yeah, you know what? They used, not to date myself, but they used that. That was the costume that the Karate Kid wore when he had to sneak into the prom.
So this is a plastic one, a see-through one.
Right, exactly.
So the barber is cutting hair with his arms through the shower curtain.
Fantastic.
Which is a little awkward, but seems to work.
Well, I'm glad he can see through. Otherwise, the haircut would likely suffer. End up looking like Matt Bloom.
And I don't know if I'd be comfortable with the plastic touching me the entire time when they're leaning over, trying to basically give you a fade. And
yeah,
so but ingenious, right? People are doing what they can. The sex worker side, I don't know if the plastic. It reminds you of Naked Gun 2.5.
Oh, the extra body condoms.
Yeah, literally a cartoon-sized condom, and the two protagonists, what is it? Lisa Marie Presley and
Priscilla Presley.
Priscilla Presley. My apologies.
And Leslie Nielsen.
And Leslie Nielsen wore them. Then I didn't know what a condom was when I was a kid, so I was like, "Why are they wearing these bags?" And then I realized,
why are they wearing these bags?
And then rolling around. And why is there romantic music going on? They're so silly.
You know what? I think that is probably one of the only misfire gags in that movie, because most of the movie is extraordinarily funny. Really? Yeah. I don't think it was that great. I keep saying to myself, why are they wearing those bags?
It's not the best. Not the best. And then also, the president of Bolivia has COVID-19. So,
well, that's not okay.
So if you're going top down, you're like, maybe the sex workers should take a powder.
I think that one of the things that is good is that we have not yet gotten together and formed an angry union at Podcast Village. We are still not a unionized shop.
Oh, we can afford you.
But did you know that there is a Bolivian sex workers union?
No, why? This is actually top of mind, because in Germany the same thing's happening. In Germany,
yes, but in Germany the prostitutes are more hateful.
No, but in Germany, the prostitutes are protesting to at least have one day a week where they could do their business.
Business. They're German. They're hateful prostitution business.
So right now, some businesses are allowed to be open like on, I would say, a revolving schedule, right? Mm-hmm. They just want like Saturday to touch their toes, right? Sure. To do their thing. What I would say is that...
Now it's time for the touching of the toes.
And by the way, if you're in this country, if anybody ever filled out a PPP form and you were... like involved in that trade, even if it was legal, you weren't eligible for PPP.
Yeah, I'm glad you used 3 Ps on that.
I'm just saying, the Paycheck Protection Program, you're short.
Lily Cortez is the representative of the sex workers union down there. She also gave a demonstration of the best disinfectant bleach solution to use on your stripper pole. So they are forward thinking in Bolivia. I think that's good.
Let's ask Pony.
Yes.
Has your escort game dried up? Like, how's it looking for your because you're regular John, right?
Yeah, when you phone out.
But I mean, they wear a mask, and that's all you really need to do. Stay 6 feet apart for the most part.
But don't you ask? You've asked them to wear masks for years, haven't you?
Yeah.
That's your thing.
It's kinky.
So now you stand there. Please don't step on Miracle.
No, what it is you stand there. We have to be done by nightfall, because that's when Miracle wakes up.
Get the oranges.
We have till 7:52.
Don't wake her and don't bring fruit over.
Peel the orange.
We're going to play Peel the Orange. Anyway, so when you're planning your trip to Bolivia, remember, Oscar, that's what's waiting for you down there.
This is morbid. During the death conversation, just quick again,
yes.
an anecdote. I said, Mom, if Dad dies down there, like, we're not going to get him, right? And she said, no, I'll go. I was like, no, it's going to cost $20,000 to bring him back, and then another $20 to bring you back once you go.
Can't you Postmates that?
40 people. No, I don't need her to go and find him. Her catching COVID, and then she's curtains, and now they're both stuck in Bolivia, and we got nothing. And except for 4 burial plots in Laurel with no one in them.
What you need to do, just ship him. Ship him.
Well, I said they put them on ice, and we're good. And then once the COVID vaccine comes through, we'll pick them up. Well, I'd rather pay for storage.
And speaking of storage, Oscar has 4 burial plots. So if you're interested, light them up. All right, when we come back, I put together an audio vault, and we'll do it after this. It's the Mike O'Mara Show. By the way, if you heard talking over that promo, make sure you've turned off your second audio program switch.
That's me. Sorry.
That's Oscar was not talking over that program.
I apologize. Pony, what are those switches next to you, left and right? What are they
switches?
Turn on? It's a weird place to have, for those of you watching on
video
on YouTube or Facebook Live, Pony's got the weird. Oh, do you have a patio?
It's a very, very small little patio.
Excuse me.
Wow.
So there's a
Holy ass.
Tomorrow, will you broadcast from your lanai?
Maddie, do you have a patio?
No, I wish.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah.
And one of you wants to work from home.
And you're on the you're on the 72nd floor, right?
Yes, I am. I can hardly breathe up here.
Well, it's important that Pony keeps his lifestyle going in his penthouse, and you can support him by buying the TMOS bonus package.
Damn.
Again, just pennies a laugh. We do a bonus show every Friday. Pony and I were actually talking in my garage yesterday, yelling across each other. We're going to play a game this Friday. We don't know what game we're going to play yet, but it's always fun when we play a game. And it's
Tommy Sticks?
We're going to play Peel the Orange. It's the greatest way to lift off your weekend. And what it is, it's a 6th episode of TMOS with no commercials, no censorship, no rules, pennies a laugh, and we oil up and we do it topless from Pony's lanai. So just click the banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Also, remember, there's nearly 500 other commercial-free, uncensored bonus shows available. What I've seen is some people during the pandemic, they've bought their first bonus packages, and they're catching up on the old bonus shows, and they're having a blast. Trust me, you've got the time. The content is there. So please remember, it's your passport to the assport. Right. Support the bonus show. It's good for you and those you love. I'm Rob Spiewak, and I guarantee it. Now back to the Disney Channel already in progress.
What was it, $5 more?
I think it was $4.99. That's funny that you would remember that. Yeah.
Dad.
This is your audio vault for Wednesday, July 15th, 2020. Do you remember the little kid that was yodeling in Walmart, and he was red hot for like 4 minutes, and he was on Ellen and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, his name was Mason Ramsey, and he was actually trending on YouTube this morning because he did a commercial for Burger King. Burger King has changed you don't think about this level. Burger King moves so much meat that Burger King actually has a hand in raising their own cattle, right?
How smart. You got a supply chain.
So they've changed the diet that they're feeding their cows to reduce methane, less burping and less farting for the cows, which is actually, it sounds silly, but it's one of the major contributing factors to greenhouse gases is gas from cattle. But they've got a song and they've got a little kid yodeling. This is the new Burger King spot that you're going to be sick of in 20 minutes.
So to change their emissions, Burger King went on a mission, testing diets that would help reduce their farts.
That's a start.
And now there ain't no question that it's helping cows' digestion, adding land and grass so they can play their part. Woo-hoo. Reducing methane, and the scientists have proven that it works. Reducing methane.
This is a hit,
isn't it?
Emissions by more than a third.
I am so glad that we got to broadcast this morning, because by the time that Lester Holt hits television tonight, everyone's going to hate it. But right now, I love it.
If I was a kid at home on summer break, I would learn this song. And I would drive my parents up the wall.
You bet.
Because they get to say fart.
Yep. Well, and it's like a socially conscious way to be a bad kid. So anyway, that's Burger King. The Cubs are practicing because if things stay on course, Major League Baseball is back in 2 weeks. So they're warming up, they're practicing, and to do it, the Cubs are playing themselves. They're playing warm-up games in an empty park, Wrigley Field, but the players didn't like it, so their sound guy, this is someone taped this, they've piped in crowd sounds, and they're playing it through the PA at Wrigley. This sounds great.
Inning third, first shortstop, number 9, Javier Baez.
And I love the fact that the sound guy is actually riding the applause, so when he says Javier Baez, the crowd swells.
Why?
He's doing a good job.
Didn't anyone think of this? The psychology of getting out there in a cartoon-sized stadium
right,
and nothing happening is probably like earth-shattering to all these athletes.
I have had one of the weirdest experiences, and that's singular to me, is that when I used to announce for the Redskins, I would get out on the field at FedEx about a half hour before they opened the doors to the facility. And there'd be a bowl that sat at that time about 90,000 people, and there'd be 10 of us there. And it was the eeriest, weirdest.
It's probably depressing.
But beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
Before they were statistically eliminated.
Okay.
But it was
impressive.
impressive,
Yeah, that's probably
but
better.
very, very strange. And so, yeah, I can see what it's like. I could imagine getting yourself psyched up to play an athletic competition with nobody in the field.
I went on was in Vesco Field at the time where the Broncos played.
Right,
when Foxworth played for the Broncos.
Right.
He was drafted by them. And I remember walking in there and being like, holy man, like, you can walk out here every Sunday and you play in front of all these people. It was mind blowing.
It's the weirdest, and it's one of the things that it's a single thing that really means a lot to me that I had that. I'm not a big sports guy, but I understand the scope of it. And when you would walk out onto that field, there was nothing like it. It was very
But
wild.
if you got a PA guy, it's going to do it and make you feel some sort of like, because I remember in college when I'd run by Mountaineer Field, they would have like fake crowd noise piped into the stadium as they were practicing to get ready for the next game.
That makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. So that's cool. Anyway, so that's what the Cubs are doing. We hope baseball returns in 2 weeks.
Yes, please, baby Jesus.
I love Billy Joel. I always have. I've seen him in concert a few times, and he seems to be doing okay.
Piano Man, right?
Yeah, he seems to be doing okay during the pandemic. He was taking a walk in Huntington, Long Island, and it was trash day. Obviously, big item pickup day. Someone was throwing away a piano.
Oh,
and so he walks up to a piano that is literally on its way to the trash. And this is great. This is just Billy Joel. I think whoever was with him taped him when he saw the piano.
Completely out of tune.
Oh, horribly.
Not bad. The action is good. Just needs tuning. And the finish is beat. It's a perfectly good piano. It's a shame to throw it out. Should at least donate it to St. Vincent de Paul or something. They'd probably take it. The action is great. The mechanics are perfect.
We should do a sound-alike contest between him and Paulie.
I thought
the action is great.
If
the action is great.
Why in my mind did I think he was going to save the piano? He just played it.
That's all. He just wanted to play it, and I hope he washed his hands because it was not a Steinway. That was definitely a Corona 900. Yeah, you have to wonder, why are they throwing it away? Maybe not a great idea to touch it.
No.
But anyway, I have a great respect for piano players, and the fact that he just sat down and done that's great to me. Love it. So I hope the church gets it. And let's close with this, Oscar. I don't know if this is true or not, but it's funny enough that even if it's staged, I liked it. For means of example, could you please, for me, and I'm not doing this to embarrass you, this is just to set an example, can you say the word pizza 3 times?
Oh, God damn it. Pizza.
Okay, that's enough. That's
pizza.
Fine. You went early. You buried the lead. So this is a dad and his daughter. The daughter looks to be a teenager, maybe 15, 16, and she can't say the word millennial. Oh. And whether she's faking it or not, she's doing a great job. So this is dad and daughter on the audio vault.
Say millennials.
Millenniums.
Mel. N. E.
Old.
Millennial.
Manelabias. What?
Oh. Say millennial.
Manelabias.
Eel. Millennial.
Manelabias.
There's no B. Where are you getting the B?
I don't know. Manelabias.
When she finally gets it right, though, he's going to take her out for pizza. That's your Magic Audio Vault, everybody. Have a great and safe day. We appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow.
Mañana.
And we'll do it all again. That's all, folks.
Thank
yes,
you.
the whole gang.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll bring another xylophone-based show and tell toy.
Fun.
That's it, folks. Thanks for joining us for another perfect episode of the Mike O'Mara Show. Don't forget, you can always reach us. Messages for I meant to do the mailbag today. Mailbag tomorrow.
Damn.
Mailbag tomorrow.
Snap.
And you can send your letters to me, Rob, with 2 B's at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Our mailing address is TMOS, Post Office Box 32101, Washington, D.C. 20007. Please send us things. And don't forget to spend some time at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Thank you for listening, and join us again tomorrow for the best part of your day, the Mike O'Mara Show. For Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, Matt Ponyboy Bloom, and Madeline Masiello dancing with the stars, it's Rob Spiewak saying so long, everybody.
Ciao, ciao.
Before you go, please make a mental note. Today's show was made possible by the TMOS bonus packages. You can secure yours right now by going to MikeO'MaraShow.com and clicking on the red bonus banner. Buy it or give it. Either way, you're helping out TMOS, and that's a good thing. Thank you, and go in peace.
Mike O'Mara Radio Entertainment.